Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, sorry, I couldn't wait any longer. It's kind of late here on the East Coast, so I have to dig in. What's up with you guys? I got to get off my phone here. I hear my own echo. Welcome back. Now let's get to work. This is Cards and Cake, and it's been an amazing August of activity, of sales, and I can't wait to put out my August recap video. But in this Cards and Cake, I am solo here in my old childhood room eating cake, grocery store cake, but it's actually really good grocery store cake. It's Greenwise by Publix. And I do eat my cake on Cards and Cake. What's going on, Mike C? David Hunter, so sorry about your Bruins who just got annihilated by my Lightning. You see all the Bucks jerseys back there, but I got to show you the coolest thing I've seen in my room since I was a kid. Way better than those Pokemon cards, which is this. Check this out. This was a Michael Jordan autographed basketball that I bought when I was like 15 years old, and I saved up all my birthday money and Christmas money just to get that thing. Fantasy Football Card Quest. James Zakhodny, David Hunter, there you go. What's up? Shelly, there you are. Yeah, I know it's such a busy night. For anyone that is going to be watching tomorrow, I want to go over a couple things, but it's really Q&A with you guys. I've gotten some great questions over the week. I will have time to devour some of this delicious cake. But there's also a couple important announcements I want to start with. What's up, Brian? What's up, Mike C? Couple things. I've said this before, but I love answering new comments. I don't get notified of responses. So if you respond to one of my comments, I never see it. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not playing hard to get. I'm playing I don't see your response. So new comments only. Also, I realized if you reached out with a business inquiry on my website, it was like going into a black hole on the internet. I have not seen it. So I just set it up again on my website. Okay, Brian Kingsley, you had a great idea. I love doing my market recap videos every week using market movers and card ladder. I'm going to try and do it live as a live stream. I think that was a phenomenal idea. What's up, Les Alex? Dude, here's the thing, man. I want to eat the whole cake. I want to eat the whole damn cake. But the problem is that I get really good questions and then I can't enjoy the cake. So then I'm like swallowing the cake real quick. I'm chewing through it real quick just to answer the questions. And so I really didn't think this through with cards and cake. It should have been like cards and water or beer or something really easy to take in. Another announcement. So I want to try and do the live stream with a weekly recap where I can bust open market movers and card ladder and go over players that you're interested in as well as what's been dropping. Let me know if you'd be interested, if a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning would work better, just as an ongoing thing. But it's something I want to experiment with. And if I can show you insight on a certain player or a certain trend and you can run with it, that'd be cool. It's easier on me as well. Also, next live stream is going to be a pre-kickoff NFL special. It's going to be me, Fantasy Football Card Quest. I've invited the Hobby Box. I've invited Personal Finance Dad. And it's just going to be like a sweet football orgy. So I hope you can watch our orgy, witness it, witness history. And also, if you guys know who Jaspy's Breaks is, they're a big breaker out in California. And I was able to talk to Joe from Jaspy's Breaks. Really cool dude. And I want to be able to go to Jaspy's sports card shop in Southern California in the next couple weeks when I'm back over there. So I'm able to record there, do a live stream, maybe even a break together. So I'm really excited about that stuff. Oh, what's up, Les Alex? So I want you guys to ask me some questions, but before you do, or as you think of some questions, there are a couple that I got here that I wanted to start with. This was from Ray, who reached out to me and asked about Beckett Marketplace and how he's going on there looking for cards, trying to find all these deals. But he's like, Brad, I can't find prisms, can't find refractors, can't find chrome, can't find high quantity of any of them. And it seems like you just find one or two, and then you have to find all these mediocre cards to fill up your cart in order to get free shipping. That's absolutely true. I pretty much wiped out all of it. Like all the Tom Brady's chromes, everyone else has wiped out a lot of stuff. I think Beckett with those lower prices it's going to be a good source for new sets that haven't yet caught on yet. So that's where I see Beckett as being good. But with so many people going on Beckett, it's just hard to find a lot of great deals. Fantasy Football Card Quest, that is amazing. With the hobby box, the Donruss hobby box, which the football Donruss will have those Marvel inserts. So really excited to see what those look like. I saw the Lamar Jackson. It looks phenomenal. What's up, Daniel? Dude, a live break would be amazing. And it's something I've never done. And I'd love to witness it. I'd love to open some packs and someone else get the cards. Obviously, someone else pay for it because I can't afford that shit. And yes, Shelly, I bought all of them. Every single Tom Brady Chrome is mine. So, yeah, it's like Pokemon. I catch them all. But instead of Pokemon, I'm catching Tom Brady Chromes. And that's why I bought everything for like 6 months before really coming out with that video. Because I'm like, all right, I bought all the Tom Brady Chromes. There's a lot of other deals, but I don't know 95% of these players. So that's all on you. Yeah, I'm going to have my own Chrome shop. All right, so let's see. So the question was, do you typically mark up your cards 2 to 3x? And the answer is it depends, card by card. Everyone prices differently, but I have a video coming out about how I price based on what works for me. And it's not just here, 2x, 3x, I'll take it. It's more like, okay, how many copies do I have? Do I feel like this set is going to get bigger or the set is where it's at? Do I feel like this player has reached their potential or not yet? What's the opportunity cost? Am I tying up a lot of money on these cards where I'd rather just move it quickly to free up that money for better investments? So it's not that easy. I'd say a lot of cards are about 3x, but when they're cheap cards, like $3 cards, yeah, I want 3x. If it's a $100 card, I might sell it at 150 or 200 just to free up that money. So I'd like to hear, yeah, like Brian says, you sell card by card. It's a different. You can't just like 3x everything, right? Because I mean, if you have a $3,000 card, are you saying you're not going to sell it until it goes to $9,000? Because it may never do that. However, if you have a $3,000 card and you could sell it for $4,500, that's a $1,500 profit, especially if you could do that in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and then move that $1,500 profit into other investments that are going to make more sense. So it's a ton of factors, but the things I think about are how many of that card do I have? Like the Gronkowskis, I was able to sell more and more and more over time. I didn't have that fear of, I only have one of these, I better get the most amount. And then you wait so long that because you're going for such a high amount that you like missed your window and it's over. So having more of one card, I like because it gives me a bit more room to make a little profit, a little bit more, and then balance it out. Dude, you know, man, I don't have wine. I have a jug of water, Big D McG 73, of course. A market correction on iconic NBA players who aren't getting knocked out of the bubble. Okay, so like Shaq, I mean, the 90s players, I feel like they had their run. Kobe and Shaq are the guys that I feel like, okay, because of Kobe's legacy, because of upcoming documentaries, he may have a resurgence. I don't know about a dip. I don't know about a dip because so many more people are entering. The way I'm seeing it now is as teams get eliminated from the playoffs, that's where I'm really interested to see at what interval will their prices go down, because they're not going to stay at playoff prices. But like Luka, for example, really intrigues me because I was thoroughly impressed with him in the playoffs. And I'm looking to buy Luka, but the window at which his prices will go down and the amount it'll go down, I don't think it'll be much at all. Dude, Jason, like 3 months later, Canada gets the package from LA. Are you serious? That's amazing that you actually got it. So thank you. I sent Jason Damian Lillard select rookie card when it was worth $12, and then it shot up to $150, and I sold a bunch of them, and now they're probably down to about $50. So I wish you got that a bit earlier. You could have flipped it, but yeah, it's true. Oh yeah, Dexflow, dude. And then Dexflow was asking me to do a super chat, which is a feature where I could pretty much become like a stripper, and you guys could throw cyber dollars at me with a comment. So you could throw up a comment and pay $2, and it'll stay up there for a while. So it's like I'm kind of like your stripper in a way without stripping, unless you want me to do that, which I don't know. I'm kind of a voyeur in a way. Yeah, dude. So on that weekly market recap, I want to be able to do about an hour or so of just going through market movers, look up players you like, look up trends, and just take my time with it. So if you guys are interested, you just let me know Saturday morning or Sunday. If not, I'm just going to pick one. Maybe I'll do it as a poll. Let's see here. Pete Alonso. Nice. Yeah. When people don't play well, I look at that as an opportunity, unless it's someone that's never played well. If they've never played well, then it's like, okay, I don't want you. But if they've played well before, they have a good history, and you know it's just a slump, that's a great time, at least for me, to look into buying, because that's when I see other people fleeing, other people leaving. They're not cool. They're not hot anymore. And just like Damian Lillard, when I bought his cards, in March and April, when no one was talking about it, when the Blazers weren't supposed to make the playoffs, that's when I was buying. When he hit those two 53 and 61-point games, I sold, because the odds that he would have another 50-point game got slimmer and slimmer, and I'd rather take an 8x, 10x profit than risk it. But other people would rather risk it. All right, let's see what we got here. PSA 9 in about a week. I would have to see why that would go down. But, I mean, if a Kobe Bryant PSA 9 and their legitimate sales and the legitimate feedback and all that, I don't know why that would even happen. So I'd want to look into that more. But here's the thing, is like the guys like Shaq, Kobe, Charles Barkley, the legends, it's hard for them to have reason for them to go up quicker than just 5%, 10%, something steady, when there's no actual games, there's no actual reason for them to be spiking, right? With players like Damian Lillard, and we see this in hockey and baseball with batters and like hitting 3 home runs 2 games in a row or whatever. You see those spikes, and that's where like that volatility is really fun, because then you can buy low, sell high, get out, roll that over. With guys like Shaq and Charles and whoever else, Kobe, if there's not a reason for them to go up in value quickly, then I hope you have a lot of money just to tie up and throw in those blue chips, because that's more of just like a safe bet. 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're good, but there's no real reason for it to spike. All right, let's see here. Nixon just got a deal. Sweet. Dude, I think DexFlow is like a baller. I think because like DexFlow's like dropping like $20 on the hobby box on his live stream, or like $10. I'm like, holy shit, man! Just for a comment, that's like awesome. Dude, and then I'm putting your comment up here for free. What the hell am I doing? I'm screwing myself. Yeah, you know, David, about Leonard Fournette, my buddy Jojo was asking about that as well, because he just got released, and I don't know too much about him. So Fantasy Football Card Quest, if you want to put your thoughts on Leonard Fournette, but my other buddy Jojo, who's really big into fantasy, was really excited about jumping on him, saying he's extremely talented, but he's always been disappointing, or his team or his players, or like whatever, the situations always suck for him, which to me, I like that. I like a great player in a currently crappy situation, because when they're released, everything's dropping, kind of like Cam Newton in a way. You know, you're injured, but you know the talent's there. And then you get signed by a new team. There's hype around the new team. There's expectations. It's, you know, headlines, fresh start, looking good, blah, blah, blah. And even though running backs are a bit riskier because of injury and because they have shorter careers, I want to know, let me see here. So, I mean, look, even something like that, Fournette signing with the Chiefs. I mean, if it's the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bucks, if it's one of these big teams that have a chance of going all the way, that's huge. So I don't know the likelihood of that, and blame the Fantasy Football Card Quest if that doesn't happen. But I like that kind of thought process. When someone's released, let those prices fall. And then when no one's thinking about them, you go in, you get it at a low cost where it's not too much risk. And then they're signed and everyone goes, oh my God, I forgot all about him. Oh, I was so enamored with this other running back that his cards have been going through the roof. All right, so let's see what else we're doing. I've heard, a couple of people were asking me about Deshaun Watson, and honestly, Fantasy Football Card Quest, this is you, man. This is all you right here. Armstead and Thompson is the new running back there. Dude, another question I have. Yeah. Dude, I told by the way, I told Andy, I said, dude, your job is to be the Matthew Berry of football cards, right? You know, we have the Matthew Berry of fantasy. Now you have to be the Matthew Berry of football cards. And Brian Kingsley said that he saw a spike in Armstead today. Okay, I want to check out this comment by Mike C as well. Kyler Murray, buy, sell, or hold, Andy. That's on you. To me, like there's a lot of hype around him, and every question to me when it's a player, it's always what are you paying? It's not like, yeah, is Drew Brees a buy, hold, or sell? It's well, what's the price and what's the alternatives? It always comes down to that. Should I buy this mansion on the corner? Well, is it $4 million? And then there's a really nice house just like on the other side of the street that's 2.5 million, like LA prices. You know, so it's always opportunity cost rather than just the player. But let me see this. As paid members artificially run up prices when they buy up certain YouTuber KB Legends. I don't know who KB Legends is. And as paid members artificially. So I'd like for you to explain that a bit more in terms of artificially. What do you mean by artificially? As in just hype players based on the content they're creating? Let me know if that's what you mean. Yeah, Mike Evans, dude, I've been selling Mike Evans like crazy. In fact, maybe I'll try and do this screen share. This is part of my August recap video that I recorded today. But let me see if I can. I'll just give you a little preview because, I mean, that's all I got, right? So let's see. Nolan, in terms of buying, flipping boxes, I've never even seen boxes at the. Dude, that's a really great picture of you. It's like an awesome profile pic, man. You look like either a professional surfer or like you belong on Real World. One of those. Okay, so Mike, I see what you're talking about there. But let me show you a bit of. I want to show you the sales I've been making on CompC this month because this was my hottest month in spite of a lot. So you guys should be able to see this. Yeah. So if you go down, I'm going to go through some of the sales here. But it was over 100 sales. Lots of Kyrie Irvings were selling. Durant's, of course, Chris Paul. A lot of these inserts, Anthony Davis, first year, Court Kings, Crunch Time. Like these are kind of random cards, but remember with CompC, it can be random and you don't have to do work. I'm not going to go to the post office 106 times, and that's how many transactions I had last month. This one's one of my favorites. Sorry, David. This guy destroyed the Boston Bruins, but Braden Point, my dude, bought for 29 online, sold for 66. Again, with a couple clicks of the button and without having to do all that hard work, I just love it. Even this OJ Howard, my tight end right here, my probably second or third string tight end for the Bucks, sold for $19, bought for $7.50, and this just goes on and on. But then the Damian Lillards were just like this one was great too. The Chris Paul bought for $7.45, sold for $33. When I go over to the Damian Lillards, that was just amazing though. Hold on a second. Yeah, like look at this one. Look, like how cool is that? Bought for $3.35. Hopefully you guys can see this because I have no idea if you can see this. Sold for 47. So I think a part of it is that you don't have to have graded cards, right? Like graded cards are awesome. They're easier to liquidate. You don't have to deal with a lot of the issues of selling and buyers complaining. But raw cards you could still make some money on. And I made my profit last month was over $2,500, and only I think like 5 or 6 cards were graded. So just keep that in mind that if you're investing $50 or $100 a month, like, look, you're not going to 10x all that. You might sell half of the cards you buy, but the profit you make on that half, if you're doing it right, could be 3x. So anyway, what else we got here? Dude, Silver Select Tyreek. What's the one I sold? I think I sold a Silver Tyreek. It was either a silver or something, but it was like $35 I got for it and paid $7. So it was amazing. One question I did get, and I want to ask you guys, especially if you are buying a lot of graded cards and especially higher end cards. Someone asked me, what is your take on if there are scuffs? I think that may have been Daniel, actually. Yeah, Daniel, I think I just got your message pretty late. Let's see here. How important is overall slab/case condition when it comes to graded cards? For example, if there's like a ding, a little scuff, nothing huge, not like a big crack, but let's just say it's a high-end card and the slab has some damage on it. So what would you say? Would you say like it'd be 5% less, 10% less of the same value as a perfect condition case? Or would you go like even less? Or would you go the same amount as if the case was fine? Anyone have feedback on that? No one has feedback. Either that or my computer's super slow. And James, Godwin's a beast. I sold a ton of his cards. James, I think I have like, well, let me see. I'll check. But guys, if you know the answer to that, if you have some sort of insight in terms of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, do you have any insight in terms of if you buy a PSA 10 LeBron James rookie card and it's like, let's say $5,000, but the case is scuffed, how much do they mark down, or how much does a collector say that's a bit scuffed, it's a bit dinged of a case, I can't pay full price? Is there cases are always in bad condition? Okay, all right, so worth the price of a reslab. So I was thinking, because a higher end card would be a lot more expensive than 10 or 15 bucks, but maybe that's it. The other question to follow up to BC, if you have a PSA 10 of a card and the case is ugly, it's just really scuffed up, and you want it resubmitted, are you guaranteed to get that grade? If anyone knows about that, I think that's okay. So Ziggy, can you explain, would you get the same grade? Because it's in there, it should be the same grade, but is that a guarantee? Because like, what if it's you're like, damn, I got a 10 and I think this was really a 9, like I feel like I got lucky, but then you want to get it reslabbed. Do you know if you would get the same grade, or could they regrade it and even give you something lower? In terms of cards I have for sale, I'll show you guys, just because the live show, it's about 25 bucks. Sweet. That's a great answer. See, that's why I'm glad Ziggy's always on here. Just great answers. All right. So the cards I have on, this was great though. Oladipo's, Kyrie Irving's were selling. Let me see how many I have total. And try not to undercut me if you guys are on CompC as well, please. Items for sale, 538. But then look at this. Items not for sale, 908. And the reason is because a lot of those are doubles. So if one of my cards sell, just like those Damian Lillard cards, what I'll do is I'll actually list one for sale. When it sells, I'll go back in and decide, do I want to mark up the price? Do I want to keep it where it's at? But I don't want to have 5 of them listed for 15 bucks only to realize that market value is going up to 40 bucks. So let me see. I've done that with my Chris Godwin. So for example, I sold this Chris Godwin for very little, $8, and then they would go up and up and up. So then I sold this one for $9.50, and then I would do it again and again. And then now if I go to this card, look at the prices of the Godwins here. Look at 18, and they're selling, because look, and there's me. So look, it sold up to $25 just 10 days ago. And watch this. This is the cool part. On the bottom left, not for sale. I have 9 more in their system. So as they sell, I can make sure that I'm pricing according to market value, versus he has a 250-yard game. His prices skyrockets at 40 bucks a piece, but instead I sell all of mine at 18 or 20 bucks, and I leave more money on the table. The downfall is that I can miss out on sales too, but again, I'm willing to do that. So anyway, I've bought from you. Are you under? Sorry, dude. Tell me your handle. Let me know your handle. I'll try not to undercut you, because that's not the goal. The goal is to price it in somewhere. But Okay, interesting. So Ziggy, refunds on eBay for scuffs on slab. Okay, interesting. Okay. I wonder if you could discount, like if a discount for scuffs would work before the hobby blew up. Like if it was okay because things were a lot more stagnant and slower growing, while right now it's like screw you, this will be market value in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, so I'll mention it but I'm not going to discount it. It's kind of like with raw cards where I'll zoom in and say there's a ding here, look at the edge, and I'll try and point out everything so that I don't get a refund, and that they can't really prove anything. I'll have the pictures, I'll have the description, and if I say no refunds, it's because I already laid everything out. If you bought because you only wanted the card to go up in value for a certain specific reason or time frame, and then you want to return it because you realize the player underperformed, that's on you. That's called investing, where you're taking that risk. It's not going to Walmart and having their 90-day money back guarantee. So let's see here. Okay, so cool, man. I'll make sure not to undercut you. Andy knows about your ComC store. Okay, all right. I'll have to check that out. And I just sent in my first submission of Star Stock. So I will see how long it takes, but I sent it a couple days ago. And dude, if you look here, I guess I'm still showing my my screen. Look at the bottom here. I have not had any of my orders since this one from over a month ago entered. Look at this, due date 9/18, which was the 12-week. This was from July. I had this due date right here of August 18th, which was pushed back once already. Now it's delayed for another 2 weeks. And then this one, the due date was mid-July. So it's 6 weeks later. And then I still have to wait another week. So unfortunately, ComC is really, really lagging. But it's also good in a way, just because I sold a lot of those cards. I had over 100 sales on ComC this month without any of my cards from Beckett actually hitting the system. So I have 900 more cards going to ComC. And if I would have sold those like the last couple of weeks, I probably wouldn't have gotten full market value, because market values for the most part just going up and up. Brian, oh shit, wrong one. But yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. See, someone entered a comment and then I went to click on Brian Kingsley's and it just moved me down one. Okay, I'll answer you, David, in a second. Predictions, I'm hoping for straight nines, honestly, because I have the lamp. I'm going in detail. I'm looking at the surface. I'm very detail oriented, but I still don't know exactly what I'm looking for. I didn't have a grading, like a centering tool. I just looked at centering and I tried to decipher, okay, 60-40, 55-45. And if everything's perfect, but the centering was a bit off, I'm hoping for a 9, but I have no idea at this point. I'm really hoping for 9s and just no 8s, because for those cards, an 8 would hurt. It's not like a vintage card or like a LeBron rookie where an 8 is still better than raw. Let's see here. 3 processing for ComC. I know it's super backlogged, but I will also say that because the supply looks really low on ComC, because they're so backlogged, I feel like that's helped me in a way, because now I can control the supply on a lot of the cards, because there's probably 50 of them in their warehouse that haven't been uploaded yet. So if that's the case, then I have 3 of them and I could charge a higher amount, but you know, it is what it is. So let's see, where you at? Honestly, no. Honestly, no. It was confusing. I didn't see any profit. I saw a lot of work without any way of making money. However, the detail of fantasy, the analysis and the amount of thought that goes into scheduling, complementary players, athletic profile, all these things was fascinating. But that stuff I'm already getting from Andy and you and the others in terms of applying it to football. And I think that's the advantage with football, because you need to factor in all these other things, where basketball, it's so individual that you can just have one dude that is a beast, get the ball every play, and just call for one-on-one, or like, give me a pick and let me do my thing. In football, you need all of that. But honestly, the football cards I love. Fantasy just seems like a lot of time without much financial ROI. So yeah, Wandering Asian, appreciate your constant support, because you've asked me a lot of questions, and I love answering this and asking others. Obvious thing when grading, I mean, I want you guys to answer as well, but for me, corners are easy. Corners and edges at first, are they perfectly crisp? Is there a little bit of white? Are they rounded? Just anywhere around the edges. Surface blemishes, like a little ding in the surface, like a little dent in the surface. The centering, the top, the bottom, the left, the right, like a picture frame. Is it a perfect picture frame, or is the left side really skinny, the right side really fat? That kind of stuff. Let's see. But what I like is, if you haven't done a submission yet, what I would do, and I wish I applied this to my own thinking, is whatever card it is, look that up on eBay under sales, under like a completed sales. Look at what a PSA 10, a PSA 9, PSA 8 look for. Even if the sales are over the last couple of years, zoom in on those cards and look at your card, and then look at the difference between, okay, this is my Shaq rookie card, and it looks better than this 8 because it looks crisper, it looks more centered, but it doesn't look as good as a 9. And then if you do that with a couple cards, I think that gives you a good idea as to where you're going to lie. Let's see, back of the card for sure. Yeah, back of the card, absolutely. Yeah, Brian, man. Dude, here's the thing. I understand the transition of fantasy to cards. I wouldn't understand the transition of cards to fantasy, because now you're doing more work for less return, and it's very short term. So let's keep it going from fantasy to cards. Okay. Who not to invest in? Who is not to, wait, better question right now is who not to invest in before the season starts. The answer for me across the board always will be whoever's overpriced. Whoever is, they have got to perform at ridiculous levels to live up to their current prices. Like, hey, let's invest in Zion before he enters the bubble. Wrong move. You paid a premium so that someone would have to perform very highly, right? I don't like that thought process. I like, who is no one talking about? Who do people just have low expectations of, and their card prices reflect that? If their card prices are high and people have low expectations, that's not good. But if their card prices are low and they have low expectations and they're set up for a couple things to go right, I look at that as a good way to approach it. And the other thing is, I'm getting bigger and bigger on the cool factor, where certain players are cool, and when they're cool, I want nothing to do with them. I want to sell them. I do not want to buy anyone that's cool, because cool means you pay a premium. You pay a premium for Gucci, you pay a premium for BMW, and someone steals your Gucci watch, your Gucci glasses, your Gucci purse, your Gucci wallet, your BMW breaks down on the side of the road because you're cool, right? Because you're cool. So I don't want to buy anything that's cool. I will sell that all. All right. Dude, you're just promoting yourself. That's it. Great. You're just promoting yourself. Just kidding. I have a bold prediction on my August recap video. That's probably going to come out around Thursday, and all the details of all the sales, the stuff I've been buying. But the last month, I had the trend on market movers I pointed out, which was that non-QB positions were getting more and more popular, because the highest percentages of the top 10 players, it was like 4 out of 10. Yeah, 4 out of 10 were non-QB positions a month out. 2 weeks out, it was 6 out of 10 were non-QBs, and then 8 out of 10 within that 7 days, the last 7 days, were non-QBs. So more and more non-QB positions were seeing ridiculous growth. So my big trend, my big, not big trend, my bold prediction is that by mid-season, you'll see this in the video, by mid-season, I believe defensive players will get the same conversation. Not the same prices, but the Watts, the Bosas, the Khalil Macks, the others will start getting that same conversation. Because if you're a football fan, we like defense, right? We like the quarterbacks, and we like the guys that sack the shit out of the quarterbacks. It's like we love both sides of the ball. It never made sense before, but tight ends and wide receivers and running backs never made as much sense as like before. So why not? Why not defensive ends, linebackers? Not all of them, but some of them for sure. Gilmore Girls. Low prices of Garoppolo and the rest of the Niners. Andy, what do you think of Garoppolo? I know his prices were up, and then I think the last couple of weeks they were going down. I don't know what the odds are of the Niners to make the Super Bowl again this year. But yeah, defense wins championships. And I mean, I think defenders too have a lot of personality. Like, I like the guy that is going to sack the quarterback, that is going to strip fumble and then do a little dance. Like that. Like, okay, if a quarterback is like the lead singer of a band, right? Everyone, oh, it's the quarterback. You're so cool. Think of it in high school. Oh, you're dating the quarterback? Yeah. So they're the lead singer. But would you rather be investing or dating or whatever the crappy lead singer or the best ass drummer in the world? And I feel like the defensive end, the linebacker, the non-QB positions that are amazing are like the best drummers. They're like like Dave Grohl when he was with Nirvana, Flea with Red Hot Chili Peppers, Slash, he wasn't a drummer, but Slash with Guns N' Roses. I would rather be investing in them than the lead singer of some shitty little garage band. But not worthless. Worth less. Not worthless. Worth less. Yeah, and I mean, like, this is all. Yeah, football is obviously very regional. It's definitely it's not going to ever have the appeal as basketball or soccer. It shouldn't. But if more and more people enter, there's still money there. It's just like maybe instead of getting a base prism, you'd have to get a prism silver in order for it to actually have some money involved. You know, like for hockey, the same thing where I go, you know, it's kind of niche. It's Northern America, it's Canada, it's parts of Europe. And so it's not the same amount of money being involved. And I don't think there ever will be in hockey just because it's based on cold weather, it's expensive, et cetera. It hasn't reached minorities. But there's still money to be made. It's just how much money are you gonna put in? Because you could still put in more and get rarer and rarer cards and flip those. It's just not nearly the ceiling as the other sports, especially basketball and soccer. Talk about Playboy? Dude, that's pretty cool, man. So Jimmy G is like the next Tom Brady in terms of living vicariously through the person. Not necessarily as good, but just living through. Tommy Lee, I don't know where this came from, but I had some really twisted Tommy Lee is a drummer. If you guys saw The Dirt, that movie was crazy on Netflix. That movie was insane. Career of number. Okay. Perhaps, but what's the career of a crappy quarterback? What's Jamarcus Russell's career? I mean, like, here's the thing. It's like you still have to be the best of it. But there's a lot of, like, Blaine Gabbert, I think, is the Bucs backup quarterback. He's in there for a long time. I don't want any of his cards. So to me, it's like the absolute best of other positions can compete with probably average of quarterbacks, but we'll see. I just know that I'd rather have a Brian Urlacher jersey RPA than 95% of quarterbacks out there, just because 95% of them didn't make it. Nice. I like that. And the cool thing is that whether it's defensive players or these others, the prices should be really low. It's not like I'd pay a lot for these. I just feel like, all right, I paid like $9 for Nick Bosa Prism rookie. And I was like, it's $9, right? It's worth the risk for me. If it doesn't pan out, I like him. I like the guy. I like the card. And it's not like dropping $1,400 on Zion. I'm not going to do that. How in the world is the average 2 years? How is that an average? So like, not anyone has ever been in the NFL for more than like 3.5, 4 years. Dude, yeah, the dirt was wild. Dirt was super wild. Okay, dude, you bring up a great point. How Cap is popular now, but he wasn't a great quarterback. But remember also, when we're collecting, we're not just investing in the performance of the player. Sometimes we're investing in the person, right? I was buying Gronk cards before he came out of retirement, not because of the player he was, because I liked his personality when I saw him on TV, when I saw him on his Instagram. So I was investing in the person. Now, you might just go strictly for performance, but other people out there are like, hey, you know what? I kind of like this guy's hairstyle. I kind of like how he cracks jokes on his Instagram. I kind of like this. So maybe because of social media, things are getting there's going to be like more elements being involved. But like Terry Bradshaw, I think to myself, dude, Terry Bradshaw is coming out with a TV show about his family. The guy's hilarious. I like him. He was in that old like chick flick or romantic comedy movie. But I like Terry Bradshaw, the commentator and the personality. I've never even seen a highlight of one of his games unless they just showed it on Fox NFL Sunday for a minute. So I just understand that like people buy for different reasons. Some people, it's like, dude, Colin Kaepernick, you're a hero. Other people, dude, you're a piece of shit. But regardless, it's not just you threw this many amount of touchdowns, you ran for this amount of yards, you broke this record. It's more like, hey, you're the person. I'm investing in you because when I look at you, I feel a certain way about the legacy you have, whether it was on the field or off the field. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, most of anyone will have short careers, but yeah, Ray Lewis is one of those guys. Like, I'd love to have a Ray Lewis card because I remember his dance, I remember his energy. He won a Super Bowl here in Tampa. But yeah, it's one of those things where Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis. Now it's the Watts. It's the I think both Watt brothers are good. TJ as well. Bosa's. Shaquille Barrett from the Bucks. I hope he has another great year. But there's guys like even old school Bucks players like John Lynch was one of my favorite players of all time. Like to have his autographed rookie card, more of a collector item. But if someone is gonna sack the quarterback, knock out a running back, do like some crazy, awesome defensive plays, who's to say in this current market that there's not a demand for that? Yeah, Jared Allen. Yeah. I mean, like certain personality. He's a pretty cool dude as well. Chase older defensive guys if you go defense. Yeah, I mean, look, there's always trade-offs. I mean, just like older players, offense as well, where there's upside, there's downside. I like just to always think, look, if everything doesn't work out, if it all sucks, then at least I want to look at the card and be cool with it being on my desk or on my wall or somewhere else. If it's a card that I have to sell because I can't stand the player, I think the card's ugly, then I'd rather just go another route because nothing's guaranteed. And I mean, look, I'm predicting this, but it's not based on anything. It's more just like I'm interested in it. And if other positions are going up, I would like to see defense get some respect, whether it's 6 weeks from now or at the end of the season or next season. Dude, John Lynch was the man. John Lynch as a GM, as a commentator, he was pretty good as a commentator, but as a safety, especially in the Buck days, dude, like some of his highlight hits were phenomenal. And I don't even know if he could hit like that in today's era where you can't lead with your helmet, you can't do this, you can't do that. But he was one hell of a safety. The right time to sell a card. All right, I'd like to get your input on this. When do you know it's the right time to sell a card? And I have a couple answers. I have like a formula that I use, which it's never the same for each card because each card is different, each player is different, the amount you have is different, the amount of money you have tied up and other investments that you like more are different based on what's going on. But there's one quote that I have to tell myself every time, which is pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered. So if I feel myself getting greedy, then I know it's time to sell because I don't want to be the one that gets too close to the cliff. I want to be the one that I'd rather sell a bit early, roll it over, and duplicate the process than be a day late and then see all that profit that could have been just down the drain. And it's already happened a couple times, but I don't think there is a like the perfect time. It's like, how do you know she's the one? Well, I mean, maybe you know instantly, but maybe it just takes a long time. Yeah. Okay. So Ziggy, when you hit a profit, what profit are you? What is it? A multiplier? Is it any profit? Because the way, again, I think of it is if I have 10 of the card, the first one I might sell at a 50% profit, not much because I have another one. And then that one I might sell at a 75% profit, and then 2x, and then 2.5x. Or I might say, this is a very narrow window of this guy. I want to sell them all. Or I would like to hold on, but man, there's this other investment that is just, I believe in way more. It's underpriced. And I just want that capital now because I could be chasing some more profit on this card or these cards, but I know for a fact that this other investment has lower risk, has a higher upside. And so there is no perfect answer. Brian, yeah, definitely. Like I feel when teams get eliminated, what I've noticed with Zion, I noticed with Lillard, I noticed with the others is, as you would expect, the teams get eliminated and their prices drop off the bat. And a lot of times what I'm seeing is that it's a big drop at first, which makes sense because a week after a team's eliminated, those players should go down substantially because there's not a demand for them in the near future. The second week, it goes down, but less so. At least that's the start of a trend I'm seeing. It's like usually 2 weeks, maybe 3. But then think of it this way: there's so many investors entering, and there's guys like me that are waiting for guys to be eliminated just for that little window of softened prices. Because to me, once the NBA season's over, if the talk is just going to be about the rookies and next season, who's expected to do well next season, where's the hype, and I don't want to be competing with everyone that's like, oh yeah, next season. I want to be, okay, you're hooked up, you're so obsessed with this season and the playoffs, and that's great. So who can I sneak under the radar and get right now at temporarily low prices? And Luka for sure is one guy that I'm going to study very carefully. And now that the Mavs are out, I'm going to look at the prices probably this weekend and see what has lowered the most, just because I want people to be impatient, get out of his cards and move somewhere else. But another, are his prices, let's see. Well, a couple of things here. If you're up 50% in investment, I think that's great. I mean, up 50%, it's like we can get greedy now because like I sold a Damian Lillard rookie card for $48, bought for $3, where 50% would have been $4.50. It would have been nothing. But overall, to make 50% on your money is phenomenal. And when you think of putting money into sports cards compared to the stock market, where you can get 10% a year, and that's considered good, and now you can make like 10% on your money on sports cards is like a joke. It's embarrassing. 50% I think is a great number to at least look at and say, okay, now what? Do I want to hold? Do I have multiples? What do I want to do? That's a really good point by David as well, where yeah, there is scarcity as well. And that was something I was seeing where I was selling some, was it Anthony Davis optic first year Laker jersey cards, and I sold for like $9 and then $15 and then $20. And then I noticed a lot of other people had them, and then they all flooded the market. And then all of a sudden the price dropped to about $8 or $9. I still paid $2 to $3 a piece for them. So I felt good in terms of being able to liquidate at cost, worst case scenario. But that's now where I'm looking at more mosaic silvers, optic hollows, cards that I know, even if I break even on worst case scenario, there is going to be a higher demand. But yeah, it's a balance. It's really a balance. And there's also the timing where a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people want to sell at a certain moment. But remember, if you're thinking about selling your LeBron James cards right at the finals, because that's when people really want to invest. Like if that's your thought process, remember, there could be 2,000 other investors that think the same thing. So even if there's 1,000 buyers going, this is it, I want to get the LeBron James cards. If you have 2,000 other investors that come out of the woodwork and post on eBay or CompC or whatever. Now all of a sudden the market's flooded. So I've learned that, if you look at eBay and you just don't see a lot of sales, even if it doesn't seem like the ideal time, because the supply of that card is very limited on the market, you can get a higher price compared to that perfect time when everyone else thinks it's a perfect time. And then all of a sudden the listings are all over the place. And the Damian Lillard card, the rookie cards I would sell, I noticed that as well. When Lillard went off on those 2 games, what I should have done was had that listing ready right away. But what I did wrong was I waited an extra day or 2. I took pictures. I hate posting, so I did this. And then by the time I did that, there's like 300 listings for Lillard, Hoops, and Select, and Crusade, and all these rookie cards. And I go, damn. So now the supply is through the roof. If I would have just jumped on it right at that moment when the supply of those cards or being listed was low, I know I would have sold at a premium. All right, so that was a long-winded answer for a question I forgot already. Yes, good old eBay. Let's see. I'm way behind on comments here. Okay, this is back to the selling for a profit. I have a PSA Young on eBay for $550, which is at comps. If I'm offered, depending on the day and the opportunity, I might accept. I paid less than $50. Well, damn. I mean, that's a hell of a profit. So yeah, that's pretty good. Exactly. And yes, it's opportunity cost. That's the best thing, is opportunity cost, realizing if there's not another investment you like at the moment, maybe you hold out. Or if you have $10,000 to invest and this isn't keeping you from another investment and you could just use those other funds, maybe you hold out. But if you know there's other investments you want to move into, then you take the smaller profit now to move it into something else that you believe will give you a higher profit. So that makes sense. And you're welcome, Brian. Rid of NBA players that are in the playoffs. I keep an eye on player long term. Yeah, and this is another great point, Eric, is that I want to sell the playoff cards now. I don't care if I'm a bit early. I just want to get out of them because I know between now and end of October will be the period. I don't care when, but it's the eliminated players that make a lot of sense, especially KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson intrigues me. LeBron James, I'd rather wait for him to be out of the playoffs, whether they win or they lose. I'd rather wait for that. But the other point I wanted to bring up was that a lot of people are looking at all the new players. And one idea that came up is, why do we have to look at new players when so many different cards of a specific player are starting to become lucrative? Because if rookie cards of LeBron are selling for tens of thousands of dollars and maybe hundreds of thousands, to have a LeBron James rookie card might be out of the equation for a lot of people. So if there's 200 and something cards in Card Ladder and Market Mover, and people want a piece of LeBron because LeBron is this generation's greatest talent, then there's opportunity there. It doesn't have to be, well, I have to get this new young player. I have to get this guy. Well, LeBron is proven. It's just now, where is the opportunity within LeBron? And where is the opportunity within the grading, the 10, the 9, the 8, the BGS, the SGC, the PSA, or something else? And that's what intrigues me, because I feel like if you love LeBron, you could only invest in LeBron and make money being able to understand the trends of sets and players and grading without having to rely on new young talent. That's my take, at least. So I'd like to think what you guys are. Yes, they are very much. Yeah, I like KD a lot. Yeah, I saw a card collector on here as well. What's going on? Base select, yes, sir. I believe so. I don't believe there's any card that's really off limits right now. I mean, I grew up with wrestling. I was looking at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wrestling cards. I was looking at his football University of Miami rookie card. I thought that was really cool. But Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage and Andre the Giant, and I'm trying to think, Undertaker was the best. I don't feel like I don't know the strategy with wrestling cards, especially if they're retired. I don't know the strategy, but with sports cards booming, with Pokemon cards booming, with Magic cards booming, with everything else, and the whole industry going in that direction, knowing wrestling cards and being interested in it, I would go, hell yeah, go into it. I just don't know the strategy behind how to make that work, unless it's just buy, grade, resell, or buy, hold for 6 months or a year. With sports, there's so much going on that it's easy to have a strategy beyond the card, because now we could study the team, the player, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but see, because it's a small niche now, and remember, wrestling is awesome, and I mean, they wrestle in Japan and they wrestle in other countries, and WWE wrestlers are known everywhere. So it's like a niche of cards, but I feel like wrestling is kind of like Pokemon in a way, where people know wrestling. And I think the cool thing is that, you know, if LeBron doesn't play for my team, like if LeBron doesn't play for your team and he actually knocks your team out, you might hate LeBron and never buy his cards. But more than likely, a wrestler, they're not tied to a region. You might like him, you might dislike him, but they're not tied to a region. It's kind of like Pokemon in a way, or the Simpsons. I was looking into the Simpsons cards. Simpsons are a huge brand internationally. They've been translated in like dozens of languages. They've had movies and all this stuff in so many other countries. But I see it in that same way, where people love the Simpsons, they love wrestling, they love UFC, they love a lot, and it's not tied to a region the way that some people hate certain players because they played against their team. Yeah, unsealed or sealed wax. This laptop is on a box of cards. Actually, sealed wax is not in this box, but in another box just like it back in LA, I have I think 10 or 11 boxes of sealed wax that I'll reveal to you at a later time. And yeah, that's it, man. So there's always that trickle down effect. LeBron has, he does have the main ones graded, the Topps Chrome, but now there's like the upper decks, there's the lower end ones as well. So whatever the cream of the crop is, like that penthouse condo in Tribeca, that's the Topps Chrome PSA 10, maybe autographed or whatever it is. It's going to trickle down because I can't afford it. A lot of us can't afford it. But then, well, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? So, and I think that's why we have second year cards. We have first year Prism, first year Optic. We're looking for what else can happen if we want a piece of LeBron. Hmm. Well, the thing is, yeah, as long as you're looking at the graphs and seeing who's underpriced, then for sure. I like Steph, I like Durant, I like that. But if their prices are already high compared to other players, then that window of opportunity has passed. So that's why I like whatever tools, whether it's ComC, whether it is it's Card Ladder, Market Movers, or if there's another one. Everything I'm doing is based on prior sales, and I'm always looking to what is LeBron selling in this? What's Anthony Davis selling in this? I'm always looking at that, because if it's just buy a card at the highest bid on eBay without any sort of comps, then it's like, who the hell knows if it's a good deal, right? If everyone had invest in Kevin Durant in this specific set, this specific year, and this version, this parallel, and then it's going through the roof more so than Anthony Davis or more so than LeBron or something like that, then all of a sudden, no, it's a horrible investment. So, but the idea is that it should be a good investment if you back it by looking up the data as to what the others are going for and what other cards you can get. But that also is the reason why whatever graph, whatever data tool you use, the more money that's involved, the more we need to use some sort of data tool. We can't just be like, in theory, this guy works. Well, you're right. If everyone thinks that way, then without checking, then it's a bad idea. NASCAR, I don't know a damn thing about NASCAR, but I think that'd be cool. And there's definitely a following for NASCAR. Yeah, finding out wrestling wasn't real was like finding out Santa Claus wasn't real. It was really sad because I love both, actually. Also, I had a really cool guy reach out to me, Alex Kerr, and he's like, dude, can I work for you? I love what you're doing, all this kind of stuff. I really appreciate it, Alex. I'm not hiring. I told him that, but I did say if anyone knows of baseball, well, he's a baseball card investor and just a really cool dude. If anyone knows of jobs in sports cards in the Southern East region of the U.S., let's say North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, etc., with more of a analytical and accounting background, let me know and I'll pass it on over to him. He was a really nice guy. He loves sports cards. And so just throwing it out there in case anyone has connections in sports card related or even sports. He worked for USA Baseball. So any connection like that, let me know. I want to help him out. Let's see. If you know baseball, then definitely give Ziggy a little holler right there. I'm going to get off pretty soon. Marvel cards. I have seen Marvel cards on CompC, and they were really cool. I think it was Marvel. It was like Avengers, like Avenger cards, where there was autographs and everything. I thought that was really cool. I don't know about if Kobe will ever go as high as LeBron because LeBron is still playing and can add to his legacy. Kobe, I would love for his prices to be as high as LeBron. But LeBron is still playing. He has a movie coming out next summer. He might be in the Olympics again next summer. There's still room for it to grow. Plus, I feel like with the hobby growing now versus growing 10 years ago, more money is going to go to the active players because people want active reasons for it to go up versus just passive reasons like, let me park my money into Kobe and then wait for a long time versus, okay, I'm investing because this guy's going to perform. But who knows? I'd love for Kobe to go up because I have a lot more Kobe cards than I do LeBron. Man, yeah, I remember that. Dude. That's a good question. Here's the thing. I do buy a bit of graded cards on CompC, and I've sold them very easily. I don't know if I'll send these cards to CompC, but I love not going to the post office. Admin work is the devil. I can't stand it. So they charge like $1 if it's a graded card versus raw. But because I've noticed cards sell at a premium on CompC, I feel like they really sell for more than what I'd be paying on eBay. That even their extra 5% fee or like whatever percent it is and their dollar cost could easily be worth it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll send 20 or 30 graded cards. But what I really want is for them to process cards a lot faster because they're just slow as hell. All right, guys. I think, yeah, dude, it's funny. Ziggy, I actually sent him the link. I sent Alex the link, so I appreciate that. Dude, what's up, Brandon? How's it going, man? And Eric, yeah, I appreciate that. It's really nice of you, man. Marvel cards, yeah, for sure. Dude, you know what? I do not have very expensive cards. I have a lot of quantity. I do not have a lot of expensive cards. I would say my last Rob Gronkowski rookie card, which the last one sold for $500. So this one will probably sell. If I could probably sell it for $500, but I have it listed at an obnoxious $650. So I don't expect that to hit that price, but that would probably be it. But it's hard to keep it in my personal collection because honestly, this is what I like more: Michael Jordan, MJ autograph basketball. This means more to me than a card because to be honest, I think memorabilia will be more of like my my display, will be more of my PC because I have a dream of having a whole wall of Kobe Bryant autograph basketballs, like a wall, so that it's like that's a display right there. Have a good one, Ziggy. And yeah, I'm about to hop off, but I just want to see if anyone else is on here. Yes, Star Stock. I'm all about lower fees for sure. It can go both ways for sure. Yeah, dude, you're right. If he gets too political, if he goes too, or it could help him, it could hurt some, but then the people that like him love him now. Instead of going from like, he gets loved, but instead of, I kind of liked you, now other people hate you. So it is what it is, but he's in a social media world. He has a future outside of basketball that I'm sure he can have a production company. He could probably run for office in 20 years, 30 years because of his brand. So who knows? Brian, you're too kind. Thank you for the cards and for the wonderful comments. For sure. All right, guys. Yeah, we're out that thumb. Dude, see, this is why I can't eat cake, guys. I got all this amazing conversation and I can't eat my cake, but I'm going to sign off right now. Enjoy the rest of that basketball game. I'm going to tune it on right now. Let me know who you got. Do you have the Jazz or do you have the Nuggets? Let me know in the comment section, and I will see you guys on the next video. See ya.